All right, welcome back to VibeCoding with Frankie V. This is part 3 of a to-do/reminder app. We first started off with part 1 by scaffolding the entire React Native project. And then step 2, we had a little bit of debugging that we went through because we had a few bugs. This is part 3 where I said we would implement the native widget for the to-do app. We wanted to implement a native widget on the home screen and the lock screen so that we could see the list of to-dos and the count of to-dos. In this instance, I actually tried Cursor and I noticed that you could add multiple agents for one particular task. And when I initially started this, I picked 2 agents. One was Opus 4.6 and one was Sonnet 4.5. I gave it a prompt. Let me show you the prompt. So the prompt was more or less, we've added a lot to this to-do reminder app, but the main sticking point is the home screen widget, which has to be configured natively in Swift in the iOS project folder. I said something else. I gave it an action. I said, see if you can implement the native requirements for iOS home screen and lock screen widgets. And I told it to use the web for referencing of the docs. And then both agents went on simultaneously in parallel to complete this task. And this wound up with a couple of issues in that they were both contributing to the code base and they both duplicated a lot of work. So that's on me. I know this in the future. That's a little preface for this video. So I'm going to show you everything that we did and what it looks like. And did it actually make the widgets? I don't know. You'll have to stick around to the end to find out. Just to recap, we ran 2 simultaneous agents. One was Opus 4.5 and one was Sonnet 4.5. And it seems that they both had 2 of the same Swift files. So if you're just joining us, we're picking up with our LoopCloser app, basically a to-do/reminder app with native iOS widgets on the home screen and the lock screen. All right, so we're running the app. All right. Well, at least it builds, right? It gave me a markdown file. Let's see. We have that. We installed all this. Installed Bacons, Apple Targets, Expo pre-built config. And I configured, okay, the app.json is configured with the bundle ID and app group entitlements, iOS project generated via Expo pre-build, and the widget extension target created and linked. Great. All Swift widget code is in targets widget.swift. All right, it's got an app group ID of group.com.loopcloser.app.widget. We've got some typings here. Let's see, we got load to-dos from app group, sample to-dos. Okay, it's got some sample ones. It's seeded some data, or it's got some mock data at least. Placeholder, get snapshot, get timeline, priority color. Okay, it's got priorities. I want to see what this looks like. Well, let's see if we can just do this. Let's see if I can go to edit, add widget. Oh, what? LoopCloser. Oh, what? What? All right, we have widgets. We have widget options. Oh, look at this. We have the regular 4 square one, and then we have the, what is this, the 6, the 8 one? I don't know. Oh, let's add the big one. I like the way oh my God, look at that. We did it. Cursor did it. This is great. I'm too excited. I'm too excited. Oh, it's finally, we got widgets. Okay, so let's see if we can add buy milk tomorrow 5 p.m. hashtag shopping, and then just hit enter, and then boom, there it is. Now, how does this work? Customize, add widgets, LoopCloser, that one and that one. Done. There it is. Okay. Done. 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 Boom! Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God, this is awesome. All right, so all tasks complete. Oh, boom, and I'm right into the app. I clicked on it from the lock screen. It opened up the phone and I'm right in the app. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Look at that. I lock it up again, click on that, boom, right into it. So let's see. I'm not seeing it sync. Let's see how do I get it to sync the widget? I see, and let's see, widget. Final setup that I need to add something to app that JS should be TSX. That app that TSX. Do I? So I've added the widgets to the home screen and lock screens. Let's see what it says. I asked it, what's up with the data syncing on the lock screen and because this is all done, but we clearly have just added another one. Let's see if I can add, what if I do this? I need to pick up groceries from Kroger at, let's see, 6 p.m. Hashtag shopping. My list, what do I need? I already got milk, so I need cookies. Gotta have cookies. Cookies, cereal. What else goes with milk? Breakfast, eggs, pancakes. That's weird. Might be some. Got some interesting styling on the text input here. Whoops. We can fix that in a second. Pancakes, whatever. How about waffles? There you go. That's enough. And then I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, 12:14 p.m. What a great time. This is high. I gotta get these. Great to do. All right, good. So that's a high. All right, let's check out the. All right, so still nothing on the widget. If I lock it, still nothing there. So it's telling me add the lock screen. I already did that. Build the app, sure. On the simulator, yeah, I added the way I'd add any other widget. Make sure data syncing is wired up. All right, for the widget. Why is it telling me to do all this? This is interesting about cursor. Why are you telling me to do these things? You should do them. I wonder if it's going to become sentient and say, oh, you want me to do it? Okay, so yeah, why don't you check it out? That's kind of why you're here. So let's see what it does. All right, so I found some app group ID mismatching and a storage mechanism. I think this was because I used two models simultaneously and kind of there's a hidden foot gun there. I thought it would get twice the work done, right? If it takes one developer 6 months, well then 6 developers should take 1 month, right? That's how that works. So I figured 2 agents at once, I get everything done in half the time. But apparently that was not the case, or at least not in the case that I did it. So using 2 agents simultaneously was not a great idea. So people say that these AI agents don't do mobile well. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's some styling issues, sure, but that's kind of a quick follow-up conversation with them to adjust the styling. Or if you feel so inclined, you can go in and Flexbox all day. I like Flexbox. I love doing styling. That's like my favorite thing because it's so you get instant feedback, right? Okay, so let's see. Code the actual code, blah, blah, blah. All right, so here's the summary. The 3 bugs. The mismatch ID, the storage mechanism mismatch. So we had different mismatches, right? It's like telephone. We played telephone with 2 agents, and one of them said this name, and then the other one said this name. And said, I thought you said Ben. No, I said Ken. And you're like, oh, I got confused. You'll need to rebuild since the native Swift module changed. Cool. So while the app is building, I'm going to close, and I want to actually look at the code. I know I say we can vibe code these apps without even opening up any files. And yeah, we have. Like, I opened up a markdown file if you want to consider that a file, but not anything, app related necessarily. All right, but let me look at the code here. So yeah, there's a notification handler. I guess we're gonna have notifications. I guess you want that when the task is expiring, when the to-do is expiring, you want to get notified. I don't know if that's actually hooked up yet. Notifications comes from where? Nice unused use effect. What I've noticed about these models is they just leave linting errors all over the code, right? They don't care about unused variables, but I'm pretty sure you can adjust the rules for the models so that maybe they run lint after they complete something, just so you can keep everything clean. So the problem was that the module was using native modules.widget module, which is using React Native's old bridge. Now we're on the new architecture, so we're using Expo modules core, but since they are loaded completely differently, React Native's native modules never sees Expo's modules, so it's always coming up null. So every call hit the mock, and it just logs and does nothing. So it was kind of failing silently. So what the agent fixed here was using native modules.widget module to require native module widget module from Expo modules core, which is how Expo modules are loaded. That is a mouthful to say. Yeah. Then it also created the Expo module config JSON, which we need for Expo's auto linking to discover the local native module and compile it into the app. So yeah, so there was something not quite going on. I think this was still because I used 2 agents to do this, and I should have just used one. I should have just used Opus 4.6 and gone ahead with it, or I should have tasked them appropriately. But I only needed 1 agent to do this. All right, so now I got to run pre-build again and then rerun the app. So let me do that. So after a little bit of debugging and a backdrop change, we were able to log out what was actually happening under the hood. If you can see here, it was trying to log app group available. It was false. So we were missing the app group. There were two to-dos in the app. That was correct. Preview error, not iOS. So I don't know what the rest of this error was, but it's not good. So let me go back up to the top part. There was some more logging that happened. Long story short, I gave it this. It understood that the custom native module never worked. So Cursor, via Opus 4.6, changed everything to use beacons, Apple targets, extension storage instead, and it's already linked, but I was apparently running the old JS bundle, so we added some logging, and then we just did a reload, and there were some styling issues as well, so I had it fix that, and it changed it from just a number count on the main home widget from a number count to a completion circle. Everything seems to be syncing. So you can see here, this is what it looked like before. See, the styling was off, and this is all native styling, so there needed to be some adjustment. So I said, hey, this is a problem. Now I changed the left panel and changed it to a progress ring, gave it a more polished look, did a rebuild, and let's see what it looks like. Boom. We got our progress ring here, and then we got our list of to-dos. So this is working. Our native iOS widget working. It's going right to our app. If I add a new one, testing out new to-do sync with widget, #dev. Boom. And apparently, if I don't give it a time, it thinks it's overdue, which is interesting to see what it looks like on the widget, right? So if I go back, boom. Now I've got 3 to-dos, 0 out of 3 done. Let me go to the lock screen so you can see the lock screen. And then boom, it only shows the top 2, which is fine because it's only got a little bit of height to it. But it says over here, if you look at the little widget on the lock screen, I have 3 to-dos. So we're working, we're running, we're in business. I haven't touched any code. I haven't written any code. This is, I mean, it's a little scary. And since I've been recording, it's only taken about an hour. And most of that time was just sitting waiting for Cursor to do its thing. And then, of course, rebuilding and compiling. A lot of that was, half the time was actual development, I guess, if you want to say it that way. This is great. We've got a lock screen widgets. We have 2 lock screen widgets. I'm going to add the regular one. I want to see what the smaller widget looks like. So let me edit this. Add widget. Let's see if I can. Okay. They don't show up for whatever reason. Okay. Okay. So LoopCloser. Let's do this one. Add widget. Look at that. 3 to do. But this is it. We've done it. We've used no code and we have it. All right. Stay tuned next. We're going to make a couple of minor tweaks. We're going to add some more functionality, and then eventually we're going to get this to-do app into the App Store using Expo and EAS. So stay tuned for the next video.